Hello and welcome. I would like to start a little mini-series within these videos in the genre of relationships, because I know this is a subject where there is much confusion, much suffering, also much love and joy. And I would invite you, if you have any questions or any topics you would like me to explore, to just leave a comment, and I will definitely create a video for you and that subject. I would like to start this series by talking about the distinction I have made between what I define as comfort versus help, right? Or comfort versus creating a loving, understanding space. Because ultimately, this idea of helping your partner, is not something we are capable of. We can just create a loving and understanding space for them to help themselves. And so, some examples are, your significant other is going through a challenge, a time of suffering, right? And they come up to you and they share this with you. Now, most people's reaction in that situation is to help. I would like to help you not suffer anymore, which is a very beautiful thing, right? And it comes from, sometimes it comes from a very loving place. Other times it comes from a very egoic place. I want to help you. Not, it would be nice if you could suffer less. No, I want to be the one who helps you suffer less. And this is something that you will be able to bring awareness to the more you observe yourself in these situations. Am I coming from a place where I desire to be the savior? Or do I truly desire for this person to come to awareness so that they suffer less? Big distinction there. But ultimately, in this example, this person comes to you and is suffering, and you desire to ease their suffering in some way. Now, in this situation, you are either going to come from a place of, I'm going to tell you what you should do in order to feel better. I am going to hold you and comfort you, right? Comfort you in order to feel better. I'm going to do whatever it is that I feel I need to do in order to comfort you so that you can feel better. Now, this is neither a good nor a bad thing, but what I will tell you is this. Each person has the power within them to comfort themselves and heal themselves. If there is this idea in your relationship with your significant other, that you are each responsible for making each other feel better, then a few things come out of this complex. Number one, what comes out of this complex is this idea that I am not worthy enough to sit with my emotions, sit with these experiences, and heal myself. That is your job. And if you can't do that, then why can't you help me? Right? Why can't you comfort me more, hold me more, share more impactful things with me, so on and so forth. And so you can see that the space that this creates. It also creates a space for the person who is suffering, where not only do they desire their healing to come from the other person, but if they feel that you can make me feel better, then also I would believe that you can make me feel worse. And so you start this very deep and profound complex of pushing the way you feel onto the other person. Well, the reason I feel this way is because of you, whether you feel good or bad. And ultimately, this is not true. The reason you feel a certain way is because of your perceptions of the world, your programs throughout your experience in this world and the attachment that you have to these things. The other person may be a stimulus or a trigger that you are unaware of that triggers these things within you, but ultimately it is within you. That is of your making, not theirs. And so in this example where your partner comes up to you and shares their suffering with you and their experience, what I would invite you to start to become aware of is that complex. If I respond in this situation, am I responding from a place that enables this person's programs to think or feel that I am their savior? Can I come from a place of love without doing this? Yes, you can. You see, the difference between you creating a loving and understanding space and comforting this person is coming from a loving and understanding space may require different things at different times. If you connect to that feeling in that situation, in that moment, in some moments it requires complete silence from you. All you do is listen, become a very compassionate listener to what they're sharing with no response, because again, it's not about you helping, right? Sometimes it requires a loving hug. Sometimes it requires questions. Why do you feel this way? What was it in your belief system that triggered this emotional state within you? Starting to explore them rather than taking it upon yourself to try and remove whatever they're feeling. We are either, as partners in a relationship, we are either enabling programs, we are enabling this idea that I am not worthy enough to deal with this, with the world around me. I need you in order to make me worthy. So you are either enabling that program or you are creating a loving and understanding space for that person to come to the realizations necessary for them to heal themselves, because ultimately that's the only healing that's ever going to take place. You can't actually heal them. You can only comfort them for long enough until they forget about what was happening, until it gets triggered again. And then they come to you again, and you can see the cycle again, and again. And no healing actually takes place. There's just a shift of focus. And the shift of focus is you comforting them in some way. So now they're focusing on that, and that allows them to settle down, which is a beautiful thing. And again, why I mentioned that in some instances, coming from a place of love and understanding may require a loving hug to allow them to feel love again and then explore within themselves what it was that they were believing that created that reality. Because ultimately that is what needs to happen in order for that person to heal themselves. They need to come back to questioning themselves. And that also opens up an interesting space. When you become aware of the fact that each person is responsible for their own emotions, their own feelings, their own beliefs and stories, then it may, it will get very enticing for you to then be the person that wants to help from that space. And all you do is ask questions and push them and try to be the person that makes them realize that it's within them. And that is another expression of the ego that we can touch on in a later video for sure. You are either going to come from a place of love and understanding, or you are going to enable the ego within the other person. Neither is right nor wrong, but it is really nice to bring clarity to the distinction. Infinite love to you all.